Hey y'all, this is Sherilyn from Just Goodness 333 Little Homestead, and today we're going to be putting up okra that I grew in my garden, and we're going to be doing it Southern style. We are going to be putting up some fried okra. How do you put up fried okra? Well, we're going to bread it, batter it, freeze it individually, individually frozen, and then we are going to put it in separate bags and put it away. I am really proud of this. Look, I grew this myself. This is Perkins Long Pod. What I love about this variety, I got this from rareseeds.com, and a lot of okra varieties, you can't grow it this long. Some of them in here are even bigger. Can you see that? They're almost the width of this bag. But I got the Perkins because I knew that sometime I may miss a harvest, and I didn't want to get a woody stem. But these are really flexible, still good and tender. And that's what they are, rareseeds.com, Baker Creek Seeds. That's what they said about these, were that they are tender even when the pods get longer. And I said, woohoo, that's for me. Because sometimes I'm busy and sometimes I might forget. So today we are going to be bagging this up, and I'm going to cut this up and bring you right back. Okay, for the sake of time and countertop space, I did not cut up all of the okra. I have cut up just about half of it, and I want to show you what I did. I cut this in pretty decent sized pieces. Now, if you're using a fat okra, that's about the width of a quarter, then you could probably cut it in thinner pieces, because this okra will shrink up a little bit as it's fried. I have some pieces that are this big, some that are this big. If you like those teeny tiny bites, go ahead and cut it at any width that you desire. Just know that you are going to lose about 30% of the size when you fry it. I'm just guesstimating. Now I cut up this. Let me make some room here. I cut this up, and I'm going to put these stems in my compost, because these will make great compost. These are the end pieces. You do want to cut those off. They're really woody. That stem is a stem. It's going to be woody. But this little nub here is also kind of tough. Okay, here we go. We have 2 cups of the cornmeal. We're doing the 2-to-1 ratio, and 1 cup of the self-rising flour. And I put that in this bowl and gave it a good mix. And I want to apologize for the terrible lighting. I don't know if you can see over there. We have our storm awnings down because there is an ugly hurricane brewing off the east coast of Florida. And we may get some tropical storm winds or something out of that. So just as a precaution, we put the storm shutters down. So it's dark in my house, and we have some artificial lighting in here. Okay, I put this in together and mixed it very well. I'm going to add a pinch of salt to this. Now, if you don't want to add salt, that's absolutely fine. Maybe 2 pinches, since we're doing a big batch. You can always salt it to your liking at the end when you pull it out of the oil after you've fried it. That way, if you like it really salty, and let's say someone else in your family doesn't, then you're not, stuck. So what I'm going to do, let me show you this. This is 2 cups of whole milk. Now, this recipe will call for buttermilk, but I don't have buttermilk, and I don't do enough things with buttermilk to warrant buying, a whole half gallon of buttermilk. So what I have in here is 2 tablespoons of regular white vinegar. This is just the white vinegar you get in the jug at the grocery store. And I'm going to pour the vinegar into the milk. And if any of you have ever made a simple farm cheese, you know where we're going with this. The vinegar, can I get a good angle here? Let me come over here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. It's going to start maybe this way. Can you see the clabber already beginning? We are doing what's called souring the milk, and it's making a buttermilk type, and it's thick. You see how thick it's getting? And we're gonna let this sit, stir it up really good. Let it sit for a minute or so, and it's gonna get a little thicker. You could do this with regular milk, but the issue with that is that you are going to have a thin coating on your breading, and it may not grab up as much of, you're gonna have a thin coating on your okra, and it may not grab up as much as your cornmeal mix. Oh, I'm tongue-tied today. Golly! May not hold as much of your cornmeal mixture here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dip this in here. Let me see, is it thickened up? It's thickened up a bit. It's clabbery, and I'm sure you probably won't be able to see it, but I can see little milk curds sticking to the side of the bowl. And that just makes it a little bit thicker. And your okra already comes with, some people call it slime. I just think that's not the right word at all. It comes with something called mucilage. Mucilage is like an aloe is mucilage. Some cactus are mucilage. This has a little bit of mucilage in it, and this is not a slimy. Some of them you can squeeze like that and you just see it. This is not slimy at all. This is not full of mucilage. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to dip maybe 1 or 2 handfuls at a time. You don't want to pour it all in there at once. You're just going to end up with a mess. I'm going to dip it in there, stir it around, and make sure it gets really good and coated. And I'm going to bring this over to you. Now, do you see what I mean by the, because it's buttermilk type, it's sticking to it a lot better than milk would. The mucilage in the okra is also going to add to the thickness of this. Maybe not in your first handful or two, but it will eventually. You know, when you get toward the end, you'll start noticing it to be just a little thicker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain off. You see this draining? I have a slotted spoon here. You don't want to use a regular spoon, because what's going to happen is that 1/4 of a teaspoon that's left in the bottom of your spoon is going to end up in your batter. And by the time you get to the end of a gallon bag, you're going to have lots of clumps of just useless batter. So we got most of that off. You want some hold music? I can sing you something. Here we go. We got most of that off of there. Now I'm going to toss this in the cornmeal. I'm using the same spoon. As long as you get most of the stuff off, we're not going to have much of an issue. But then again, trying to get this cornmeal through the slots of a spoon is going to take you forever. See what I mean? So I'm going to use this nifty little high-tech piece of equipment. Hello, how are you? I'm going to use this little piece of equipment that I got at the Dollar Tree for a whopping $1. And I'm going to drop the cornmeal, I'm going to drop the cornmeal coated okra in here and just sift it out. Where did all my okra go? It's in the bottom. Okay, we are going to do this. Now this seems like it takes a lot of time, but if you've ever been to a restaurant, if you're from the South and you go to a good barbecue joint, they have fried okra, can't resist it. I can't resist it. And trying not to make a mess here, which is not easy for me, guys. It is not easy. Okay, once you've gotten this, I'm going to show you this. It's beautiful. Look at that. See how they're all individually coated? Now you can do this on a plate, but I think you're going to have a big problem. I really suggest doing a bowl. And when we're done with that, let me bring you down a little bit. We are going to put this on a tray. See, even then I still got some clumps. We're going to put this on a tray so that we can put them on a single layer, and we're going to freeze them in the freezer. Now, I'm not going to keep you guys here for the duration, but I will show you. We're going to do this until this whole tray is full. Then I'm just going to open the freezer, pick out a level spot, you know, move everything around, get a level spot, harden that mess. And when you're done, from this 1 gallon, I'm probably going to get at least 3 or 4 bags like this. This is a freezer bag, and I did these last week. And look at that. They are ready for the oil. Isn't that great? So here is my recipe for buttermilk fried okra. If you have a recipe you'd like to share, put it in the comments below. And I'm going to go ahead and finish up all this okra because I have a lot to do because my garden is a success this summer. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Until then, this is Sherilyn at Just Goodness 333 Little Homestead. Bye, y'all.